Hello everyone, this is Kyle from Teacher's Teacher, and in this video we're going over some basic information on how to use and navigate Google Docs. So I am already in my Google Drive, and I'm going to click this new folder that I made last time and this first document. Now if you don't have a document that you can play around with, you can go ahead and click New, and then create a new Google Doc. But I already have this one, so I'm going to double click on that. Now right now this is kind of like a blank canvas, and if you look at the top bar, there's a whole lot of different stuff going on. We have all these options up at the top, and then I have all of these additional features, things that I can do, and a lot of this stuff should really look familiar. We even had some of the same things located at the bottom of the Gmail box when you were composing an email. Now, I just want to take you through some of the basic functionality that I think is important for creating documents in a school context. Before we start, I think we need to input some information in here that we can kind of play around with. So I'm going to just copy some text that I have here from this history website, and this is just some information about Socrates, and I know I'm not a philosophy teacher, but that's totally okay, and maybe I just want to stop there. So I'm going to use my command here, Control-C, to copy this text. I'm going to go back to my document, and I'm going to hit Control-V, and then that will paste it into this document with the same formatting that it had on the website. Now let's say that I really don't like this formatting. I'm gonna actually get rid of this so I can undo what I just did, really any action, so I just pasted this in, and I can undo that with Control-Z. So I just got rid of that. Now if I wanna paste this with my own formatting attached to it and not the formatting from the document itself, I can actually use a different command, and this command is Control-Shift-V, and it'll paste without any formatting attached to it. So if I hit Control and then Shift and then V all at the same time, you'll see that now this is formatted based on my specific options that I had up at the top. So it's an Arial font, and it is also size 11. So it's really up to you. You can paste two different ways. Now, if you paste it like this, and you also want to kind of reformat things, because some things get a little tricky, like for example right here, like if I enter down, there's kind of too much of a space, and I can't really click in certain spaces because the format gets kind of weird. What I can also do is I can highlight any amount of text that I want, and I can go up to this button at the top. It's like a italic T with a slash through it, and this is a clear formatting button. So if I click on that button, it actually clears the formatting for me, even though I still have the formatting on the rest of the text. So what I can do then is I can kind of back this up, and then now I can play around with it. I can make it a little bit bigger, etc. And I can mess around with the formatting that way. Now, if I want to make things a bit more organized, I think it's always nice to add a table. I use tables a lot with a lot of different documents that I make. So let's go ahead and add in a table. To add a table, all you need to do is click this insert button at the top, scroll down to table, and then you just need to drag the cursor to however big you want the table to be. Now I don't want this table to be crazy big. Let's say that I want 2 columns, and then I want it to be 4 rows. So I can click on that, and you'll see it auto-generates a table for me. Now if I want to copy some of this text into this table, all I need to do is highlight the text. I can hit Control-C to copy, and then I can put my cursor in the table and hit Control-V, and it'll paste that information. Now if I hit Control-Z, I can undo what I just did, and if I want to actually do that a little bit faster, because I know I'm going to get rid of this if I'm just moving it to a different spot, I can actually hit Control-X, and Control-X is the cut feature, so it actually cuts that text for me, but it also copies it to the clipboard. And now I can go up here and hit Control-V, and then I have that same text. So it kind of eliminates the step of me going back and deleting it later. So I want to have all this information about Socrates, so I'm going to cut it, I'm going to bring it up here, and I'm going to paste it. And I can, kind of set up these boxes, and then maybe underneath the boxes I want to add some questions. So I can go up here to this numbered list, and I can click on that. It'll give me a number. I can write my question number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 that deals with the reading on the top. And then over here I can kind of do the same thing. Question 1, well technically this would be 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now you'll notice that the numbers don't restart every time you create a new numbered list, so it's easy to fix. If you just click on this and actually right click on that first number, you can or should be able to continue previous numbering. And then it'll kind of sync those together, so it'll all be continuous throughout. Now we don't really want just only text in here. Let's say we want to add a picture. So what I can do is I can enter that down a little bit, and I want to add a picture in this box right here. I can go to Insert, I can go to Image, I can go to Image, and then it'll give me a bunch of different options. Maybe I have some pictures in my drive, or maybe I want to actually take a photo with the camera on my computer. But in this situation, I actually just want to search the web for a picture of Socrates. So this box will pop up on the right-hand side, which is just a Google search. So I'm going to type in Socrates here, and then it gives me all these pictures. So if I have my cursor highlighted right there, I click this image, it checks it for me, and then I'm just going to click Insert, and then it'll take a second, it'll pop in. Now this image, it's a little too big, and it looks like it pushed all of my text down, and I really don't want that. So all I need to do is kind of backspace these additional columns of text, and then I can actually click this, and I can make this image smaller. I can click and drag. I can go up here and center it if I want to align to the middle. And this is, looking a little bit better. Still needs some work, but definitely looking better. Another important feature to always add to any type of document, whether this document is going to be an online version of a document that you're going to share with students via maybe Google Classroom, or you're going to print this out, is to add a header with some information. So what I always do for my header is, so if you double click this space at the top right here, this header option will pop up. So I always add a header for students to write or type their name, my name, the class period for me, and then today's date. So I know all of that information. Now with the header, you have a couple options of how this operates. So if I just leave that alone with the normal settings, it has the header up at the top, and then if you scroll down, you'll notice that the same header pops up on every page. Now that might be what you're looking for, or it might not be, and if it's not, you have a couple options here. So you can click this box right here. So I'm actually going to highlight and copy this because I know it's going to get rid of it. I can copy this, and I can hit different first page. So the first page of my document now is different than every other page, and every other page I'm just going to delete and have blank. So if I have a different first page up here with this box checked, all I need to do is paste that back. So now I have just that information on the first page only, and I scroll down to my other pages, and then that information is not there. The only other option, if you go into Options, this box will pop up. So we already have the different first page. What you can also do is click the different odd and even pages. I actually use this for one type of document that is very repetitive with different types of pictures that I want students to analyze, and it'll just make a different header for the even pages and the odd pages. So if that works for you, it's a really good tool. So I'm actually going to click that off, then I'm going to hit Apply, and then it kind of got rid of my header for me. Now we can do the same thing with a footer. All we need to do is click down at the bottom of the page, and if you're somebody who really likes page numbers, I would say the easier thing to do, instead of kind of clicking on the footer and typing it all in yourself, is you can go up to Insert. You can scroll down to this header and page number section, and you can click Add a page number, and then you can choose, do you want to skip the first page of the document because it's a title page, or do you want it to start at page 1 and you want the text to be on the bottom right? So I'm going to click that, and you'll see that now I have a page number on the bottom, and it looks pretty good. So I have 3 pages in my document. Now we're kind of creating this document, and it looks like we're going to print this out, and we're going to, have a bunch of space here for students to answer questions. But, maybe my school just went one-to-one, and we don't really need to print documents out anymore. And we can just share this information with them via Google Classroom. And we don't really need this reading, because we can actually just give them a direct link to the website itself. So let's say we get rid of all this text. And I actually also want to get rid of some of these boxes because I don't really need them all. And I want to merge these 2 boxes together because I just want one at the top. So if I click and drag, and then I highlight 2 of these boxes, and then I right click, it'll give me some options, and one of those options is to merge these 2 cells. So now you'll see those 2 cells kind of turned into one large cell. I'm going to center that text. I'm going to bring this up a bit so it looks a little bit better. So learning about Socrates in the early years. Now, I want to take this link that I had from this article, and I don't want to copy and paste all the words because they're using this online, so all I need to do is add a hyperlink. So if I scroll over this text, if I highlight all of this, there's a button right here that says insert a link. So I can click on that, and then I'm going to paste my hyperlink into here. So I'm going to go over to whatever website that I want my students to look at. I'm going to click on the web address at the top. I'm going to hit Control-C to copy that web address. I'm going to go back to the document, and then where it says link, I'm going to hit Control-V to paste it, and then I hit Apply. And you'll see that the text turns blue, and it is also underlined. And now if students click on this, it actually takes them directly to the website. So they can click on that, a new window will open up, and they have complete access to the entire article. Unfortunately, this one has a bunch of ads and pop-ups and stuff, so don't pick an article that has all that, or a web page that has all that. But that's just an easy way to add hyperlinks to help students navigate to different websites so they can read and or watch or understand whatever information that you're trying to get them to understand. Now finally, we want to rename our document. So if we go up here, I don't want this to be Doc 1 anymore because I am making this document about Socrates. So I'm going to say this is, and all you need to do is just click and highlight, and then you can rewrite that text. So Socrates reading and questions. So now I know exactly what this document is. Now, outside of this document, the last thing that I want to touch on in this video is how to convert your old Microsoft Word documents that you have over into your Google Drive, and how to kind of make them sync up with Google Docs. Because I know not all of us are only operating working within Google Docs. I myself have a whole bunch of Word documents from Microsoft that I've been creating for like the past 7 to 10 years. And I've been working on slowly converting them. So I'm just going to show you an easy way to kind of help you with that process. So we're back in our Google Drive, and all I want to do is I want to take my Word document and I actually want to upload it to my Google Drive. So if I have the Word document saved onto the computer, I'm going to hit New, and then I want to hit File Upload. So I click on that, a new window is going to pop up for me to find my document. And let's say that I want to paste this Word document here, and this is one that I actually use for my class. I can double click the document, I can hit open, and then it'll sync it and it'll add it to this specific folder that I'm in. But you'll notice that the icon is different because it's a Word document, it's a Microsoft document. And you will also notice, because it's not a Google document, it is also taking up space. Albeit a very small amount of space, which really doesn't mean too much at this point, but it's still taking up space compared to any type of Google document. Now, if I double click this, it doesn't actually just open up a version for me to edit. I can only just look at it in terms of it being a Word document, but there's this option up here at the top that says Open with Google Docs. So if you click on that, Google Docs will automatically convert it from a Microsoft Word document into this .doc file that is kind of a mixture of both a Word document and a Google document. It's essentially taking the Word document, putting it into the software of a Google document. But the nice thing about this is that you can actually change and edit this using all of Google's software. And then you'll notice if you go back to your drive and I click off of this, it'll say, whatever the document title is, it'll say .doc, and that's what you're looking for to be able to edit that specific Word document within Google Docs. Now, let's say you don't even want this to be a Word document at all. You strictly want to convert this 100% into a Google Doc. All you need to do is go to File within the document, and then you can just hit Save to Google Docs. So if I click on that, it'll open up a brand new file for me that is 100% in Google Docs now. It doesn't say .doc, and it has no relation to a Word document anymore at this point. And you'll see that the formatting is the same. So if I go over here, and I actually need to refresh this, I should have now this specific document that you'll notice with the Google Doc image taking up no space at all, which is literally the same thing as the Word document that I had. And now that I have that, all I need to do really is just delete my Word document. So I can click on this, I can right click and hit remove. And then now I have just successfully taken a Microsoft Word document and converted it into a Google document that sits in my Google Drive. I think that's it for this video. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end, and I will see you in the next video, which will cover some advanced uses of Google Docs.